Hi, this is Steve. Flyer and I ran Emily Klarman's UKI Master's Agility course this past weekend, and it was a lot of fun, and she let us share it with you. So let's take a look at the course, and we can talk about it, and then you'll see how we ran it. So if one's down in the right, lower right corner here. Basically, the dogs come out, come over 3, and turn left to the teeter. From there, you move on to a backside of 5. I have to admit I didn't look at the course map before I walked this one, which is something I don't normally do. I normally do look at it, and was a little surprised when I was like walking it the wrong way. So it definitely is a push to the backside. A few people took it the S-curve way. For me, I just stayed on this side and took them around. Then it's around the horn, and a little push to the backside of 9. The next section was actually kind of interesting because if you have to be here to support that backside, and in my case I wanted to do the front cross, so I pushed the backside, I front cross, and then I had him on my right as we came around. You've got to get down here and control this corner a little so that the dog can come through and not take the off course. So I did that, I think, with a catch girl, if I remember correctly. And I think the other place things really went wrong for a lot of people is as the dogs came around here, the handlers were getting around jump 2/11 and were pushing their dogs out, and a few dogs took the teeter. I think I kept Flyer's head, kept him down there. We had a very sketchy running A-frame contact, but since my path was here, I was able to push him into the correct side of the tunnel, and then we just come straight through towards the finish. So let's take a look at how this ran for us, and then I'll talk about what I did right and wrong from there. So that's how it ran for us. You can see there were a few interesting spots in there. So we start out, and this is one thing where I sometimes rethink the down for Flyer at the start line. On a previous run, the jump was pretty close to the first obstacle, and him coming over the bar from a down, he dropped the bar, but Flyer really much prefers to me in a down. He feels a lot more comfortable. So you see how he jumps it. He really kind of punches it over off his front end. So you come up here. I'm showing my outside arm, which is a thing I like to do to give him some turning cues to overcome my forward motion. So he knows I'm starting to rotate, but look where he committed. He committed way back here, and I hadn't even begun my rotation. I was really kind of slacking there, and you can see he lands, barely turns, but I didn't give him nearly enough turning cues there. I cue the catcher, pick him up. He read that pretty nicely. Come up to the teeter. I release him. In my forward motion, you actually see he doesn't see. I stay facing forward here, and my only cue is this outside arm. And Flyer really is turning due to my verbal and my lack of motion. Had I rotated into him a little there, so he saw the new arm, then my motion back would have got him to turn a stride sooner, I think, on that. Then it really is just support him, getting ahead. I could have run a little faster there. Let's take a look. So now it's the push to the backside. I'm pushing, I'm showing the new arm rotating. I'm really quite close to that jump. He shouldn't need me to be right up at the jump to get that wrap. So he's a good boy. I'm getting out of his way, and he barely has enough room to land. So he was a very good flyer there. I should have been further off that jump. He would have taken the backside. So I did my good deed here by getting up to the jump, starting my rotation, so this time he does wraps that just perfectly. I have his head. I'm actually making some eye contact so I know where he is. I come up here. I'm squaring my shoulders off to the A-frame, keeping an eye on him, and I've got him. And then Emily is right there, and that is a pretty barely there touch on that A-frame. That's our spring, not the yard is thawing, that's our spring project, is working on getting his running A-frame back where it's supposed to be, with being off all winter. Through the weaves and on to the end. Very proud of my little flyer. Did a great job, and we qualified on that. And that got us qualified for UKI Nationals. So thank you, Emily, for sharing your course. It was a lot of fun.